Welcome students. We discussed about the steps of recombinant DNA technology, how the plasmid vectors are combined with insert, how the host cells introduced with this rDNA give your desirable product or the insert being cloned, etc. But how does the host cell actually take up the recombinant DNA from the surrounding, from the environment? So, steps of making the host cells competent to be transformed with the recombinant DNA. There are several methods. No cell will take up DNA very easily. The reason is DNA is hydrophilic in nature. It is water loving. And it cannot pass through the cell membrane. Why? Because cell membrane is hydrophobic in nature. Opposite characters. And the hydrophobic nature of the cell membrane is due to the lipid bilayer. Cell membranes are made up of lipid bilayer. So it is not water loving, it is lipid, it is oil based. So naturally hydrophilic and hydrophobic molecules remain separated. DNA will not enter very easily. So we have to make the cells into which you have to allow DNA to enter. So those cells have to be made competent. They have to be made smarter to take up the DNA. So what are those ways of forcing a bacteria to take up the plasmid vector, which is having your alien piece of DNA, desirable DNA? So the steps are transformation, transfection, electroporation, microinjection, biolistics, also known as gene gun method, and we also have a method, vector mediated method, like using a disarmed pathogen, as we have discussed in TI plasmid, this last one. Still I'll be briefing it here. So see, any cell to take up a piece of insert or a fragment of DNA from another cell or from a vector in the surrounding medium, it will not enter unless you make the cell competent. So this insert has to be incorporated into the other cell's genome. For that we will take up steps one by one. So transformation. What is the main thing here? See, you can see a picture here. We are going to discuss chemical transformation. The same picture will also show another method called electroporation. But in this screen, we will limit to chemical transformation. See, electroporation, you can refer to the same picture for that screen when we come to the topic. So, what happens is, when you are incubating the cells, bacterial cells, with the rDNA which is having your desirable piece of insert gene, how does it enter into the cell? See, you can see it entering into the cell. And you can see here calcium divalent cations being shown. So what is this whole process like? How does this happen? We'll come to that. So this is the cell membrane, just a picture of how the cell membrane is like. It is a lipid bilayer. Okay. So what happens? These are all negative. The heads are all negative charge. So when you culture bacterial cells and the rDNA together in calcium chloride, chilled calcium chloride at 4 degrees Celsius. You can see the thermometer showing a tip here. For around 30 minutes, what happens to the cell membrane of the E. coli cells or whichever cells you are suspending? So when this happens, the chill treatment and the presence of cations, divalent cations, makes the walls of the cell swell up. And that makes the cell competent. Okay, so they are ready to take DNA, but that chill treatment also should be altered with heat shock treatments. So when these cations are on the surrounding of the cell membrane, it neutralizes this negativity of the cell membrane. That, along with the cold treatment plus heat shock treatment, makes the cell wall and the membrane porous. You can see the pores created here. So the pores are created because of that treatment, these steps. Calcium ions increases the efficiency of DNA uptake through these pores created in the cell wall. So that is the basic idea how it works. So this is one method of allowing cell to take up the DNA. Then we have another method called transfection. Here we are using some charged substances, mixing the rDNA that you have designed with along with the foreign gene with charged substances. The substances could be calcium phosphate. See here, DNA mixed with calcium phosphate in a vial. It could be cationic liposomes. This is a liposome which is a bilayer of phospholipid. So the internal aqueous solution of the liposome is loaded with DNA. So the DNA, that means the desirable piece, surrounded by liposomes. That can be one method. Or it could be DEAE, diethyl amino ethyl dextran. Dextran is a polymer. It's a carbohydrate polymer. Okay, and that is also cationic in nature. So you surround the DNA with such DEAE dextran. Any of these methods allows transfection. So one such method based with liposomes we will see here. See, this is a cell membrane, the liposome loaded with DNA. It is called a cationic polymer plasmid complex. When these two are together, that means liposome loaded with DNA, you call it a complex molecule. So when this is surrounded across the cell membrane around the cultured cells, the cell membrane shows endocytosis. It takes in this molecule. It is engulfing this molecule and it creates a vesicle-like structure. Okay, in the cytoplasm, the vesicles as well as the liposome disintegrates, it degrades. So what is remaining? The DNA inside easily enters into the nuclear membrane. So this process is called transfection. So the cells are overlaid on the recipient host cell. That means recipient host cells are covered with these kind of molecules, any one method at a time, and the host cells take up the DNA. Then electroporation, very simple. You have an electroporator or an electroporation system connected to the chamber in which we are having sample of DNA and cells in a cuvette. So this electric charge, when applied to a normal cell which is surrounded by the DNA of interest, the shock makes the cell wall and the membrane allow DNA to take in. See the cell, it has taken in the foreign DNA. So it's a very simple high voltage electric current application. Okay. Now micro-injection, which is also a direct method. All the methods which are physical or chemical like calcium divalence or dextran, etc. These are chemical methods. This is a physical method. So these are all called direct methods. When we are using a vector, this is without the vector. So it is all direct method. When we are using a vector to transfer a DNA into the cells, it is called indirect method. So what happens in micro-injection is, generally it is done for animal cell, but plant cells, protoplasm are also injected with DNA by this method. The syringe containing the DNA sample of interest, there is no vector here, is directly injected into the nucleus without the use of a vector. So what happens? The foreign DNA is directly injected into the recipient cell using this micro syringe. It's also called a micropipette, which is heated up. The end of tip is heated up to make it thinner and deliver the DNA. So this process can be done by visualizing under a microscope, phase contrast microscope, to get the delivery done accurately. Okay. Then biolistics or gene gun method. This is a gun to deliver gene of interest into the plant cell. It is also called biolistic. So high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten are coated with DNA. Particles of gold and tungsten are rubbed on DNA so that DNA gets coated on those particles, and then this is shot on the plant material or cultured plant cells. The device is called particle gun or gene gun. So this is bombarded on the plant cell. It is shot because it is high velocity, so we use the word bombarded here. So through the barrel, through the disc pores, the particles go and hit the cells. It creates pores on the cell wall and the membrane, of course, but the particles of gold and tungsten stay out. DNA passes through the pore into the cell. So that is how you get a target plant cells changed, its genetic makeup changed with your gene of interest. So you raise genetically modified plants through such methods. Then the last one, but not the least, disarmed pathogen vectors. This we have covered in TI plasmid actually, but I'll just brief it a bit. You know, Agrobacterium tumefaciens have the natural mechanism of delivering its tDNA, that is its TI plasmid has a tDNA region which it delivers into plant and causes crown gall disease in plants. So what biotechnologists did, they isolated the plasmid, TI plasmid, the tDNA area, which is the infectious part of it, only the infectious part of it. We have discussed this in detail. Please refer to the TI plasmid video. So that is given with an insert, a desirable insert. Then this TI plasmid is introduced back to the bacterium. Now it is no more pathogenic. It is not pathogenic. It will not cause disease because the infectious region is removed and a gene of interest has come there. So this Agrobacterium is cultured with plant cells by tissue culture method. So plant cells get the tDNA area incorporated with the new gene now, gene of interest now. And such plants raised in the laboratories can be shifted to the field as new genetically modified plant with new trait. New trait could be a positive trait for commercial gain. So that is all about how to deliver gene of interest in cells. So if you understood well, please share or use all these buttons. Don't be lazy. Just a press is needed to motivate the teacher. Thank you so much, and do subscribe.